Hi, my name is Nancy Simmons and I'm one of the teachers at English Hound. Today I want to share some strategies you can use at home to help your child improve in their reading skills. There is much more to reading than just processing words. Students must learn to read for meaning and think critically while reading. And in order to do that, they have to learn to read on a little bit deeper level. So I'm going to show you a little demonstration of just a short reading passage that we might use it for a fifth grader. And the important part here is that as we are reading, students should be thinking to themselves about what's happening in the story. It's not just reading through the words, but it's thinking as they read. They should also be asking themselves questions as they read. What is the character doing? What might the character be thinking? So that at the end of the story, they can go back and give some examples from the text or from the passage that does support their belief. So to begin, before we start reading, we always have a little discussion, a little prior knowledge, a little prior understanding, some connections. It helps children to remember a story and understand it if they have some connection to it. So since this is a story about a child that is moving to a new school, it would be very easy to have a discussion about what it's like to go to a new school or to have students come to your school, making new friends, how difficult all of that is. And what students have thought about that, then when they read the story, they make a little bit stronger connection to that story. So in this one, the very first paragraph is about a girl, Lynn, moving to a new school, and she's not happy about it, and it explains why she's moving, because her mom has a new job. So if we were reading this, the student would read it, and then at the end, I would ask some questions, and they would be, an example would be, what is the evidence in the passage that explains why Lynn moves so often? So why does Lynn have to move? If the student were reading this, I'd ask them to go back up, find the evidence. What is in the text that tells you the answer? And it is because her mother's job kept them moving. Okay, so now we know we have evidence from the text about why Lynn has to go to a new school and why she has to do it so often. So students would be asked to highlight, to make notes, to do something to show that that is what they found in the text. Another question might be, how is she feeling about moving? She might not just say, I'm sad, or I'm angry, or I don't like it, but we have to find words in the text that do help us understand that. So a student would go back and look at it, and they would find evidence of her being unhappy when she says, new friends were a waste of time. So she just doesn't feel like it's even worth bothering to make friends because she's going to have to move again. So obviously that upsets her. So that would be the information in the text that the student would use to show, to support their reasoning for their answer. And it is important that they're able to do that. That's just a short demo of how we would look at text, a little deeper, looking for a little bit more meaning and making more connections to what we are reading. That's what we do in class all the time. But at home, you can also help your child by just going over a few tips. And here's our few tips for you that you could use at home. Now, for your student, you need to encourage them while they're reading at home to slow down. It's not a race to finish the story or the book. Understanding is much more important, so slow down. Define the vocabulary and context, meaning if you don't know what a word means, don't skip it. Look at all the words around it. It should give you some ideas of the meaning of the word, how it's used in that sentence. And that's very important for kids to be able to do in all types of reading. So start here. Make connections to what they're reading. They should be thinking about similar experiences, just as Lynn with the moving, new schools, anything that they can say, aha, I understand that, so I can connect to it. Tips for parents when you're helping your child. Find stories that they like. Find something that sparks their interest so they will want to be engaged in the reading, be interested, and then be able to share that with you. So that will make them more interested to actually understand the reading on a deeper level. So that is important. Prior knowledge, as we talked about in the earlier demonstration, if they have some understanding of what's going on, a little knowledge about it, it's going to make a deeper connection. If you're reading a story that takes place in another country or another time period, get a map, talk about a time when there weren't televisions or cars or something so that when they read the story, they understand a little bit more about it if there's some missing information. Ideas and events after reading. You should always discuss the story. Please don't give them a test. It's not a test situation. It's just reading a good story, talking about it. What were the characters like? What did you feel about it? Showing understanding on a deeper level. Why were the characters behaving that way? What can you infer from what is happening or what they said? And then, did you like it? Reading should be enjoyable. We want kids to enjoy reading. So these are just a few tips you can do at home to help your child be a better reader, to read on a deeper level, get more meaning from their reading. So I hope that it helps. Thank you.